Adam, tell me, this is the 7th year of the festival. How have you seen this event grow and change over time?
Oh, each year it gets bigger and bigger, both in terms of film submissions and attendees, and we love it. There's so much great film history here in Southern Utah. We sometimes get forgotten down here. All the action's up north, but there's a lot of action down here as well.
How many attendees are you expecting?
I would say over the course of the 4-day festival, we should have over 1,000 people. A lot of those people filmmakers, which is amazing.
And how many films are you screening?
We are screening 10 feature films and 35 short films, wide range. We've got a little of something for everybody, and these are films from all over the world. It should also be noted, these are independent films, so with all due respect to Marvel and the big studio stuff, this is a completely different flavor, but it's amazing. If you're a film fan, you definitely want to attend.
So tell me a little bit about the process, the submission process, and what films you look for when it comes to admitting them to the festival.
Well, my colleague John and I, and in fact the whole team, that's a great question. The truth is we don't look for any one thing. A movie either hooks you or it doesn't. It's pretty much that simple. We love a wide range of films, and if it connects with us on some level, we all have our likes and dislikes, of course, but we really do love to bring a little of everything to the festival. It's very important to us.
You mentioned that sometimes the film industry down here gets a little overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
In the past several years, there's been a lot of investment into film here.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of filming happens here. How do you feel like this festival fits into that?
I think, there's room for everybody. There are different levels. You've got your Costner, of course, who's big time, but there are smaller tiers, smaller productions looking to come down here. One of the things that we pride ourselves on Desertscape is when we bring people from outside the area to town, it's always our hope they'll come back here and shoot a project here. And we've seen that happen. Like people that have never been here, they come here and they're like, we love it. It's just great locales, beautiful area, so.
Yeah, you really get, to film here, you can get such a unique visual. The visuals are so unique down here.
Exactly. You could shoot on another planet, go right up there in the red rocks or the sand dunes, and you got a whole other worldly thing. And we've seen that. John Carter of Mars has shot down in the southern Utah area. Lots of films.
What's your hope with how do we get more people here? How do we get a bigger audience to come to southern Utah and know about what we're doing?
By amazing people like you, Liz, helping us spread the word. Baby steps. 7 years ago, it was much smaller, and as long as we continue to grow each year, even if it's only a few people more than we had the previous year, then it's good. But I say good old-fashioned word of mouth, and when we get people out here, they have a great time. I love the bigger festivals. I've been going to Sundance since the mid-90s. Not for much longer, unfortunately. They're leaving, which is crazy. I didn't think I'd see that in my lifetime. But one of the things that's so great about smaller festivals like this, there's an intimacy to it that you don't get with the bigger festivals. When people come here, you get up close and personal with the filmmakers, and it's great for networking opportunities, and people get to be inspired by each other, and that's the great thing about it.
You bring up Sundance and Sundance leaving Utah. For the industry here in the state, what gap does that leave, and what opportunities does that potentially open for other festivals?
It's such an interesting question. I know, we have a lot of great festivals in the state, a lot of smaller festivals that people don't even know exist. Hopefully this is going to open a doorway for them, certainly us, and lots of great festivals up north and other festivals down here too. I'll miss Sundance. I know it's a divisive thing when you talk about bigger festivals like that, because when they get to a point where they're that huge, it's like your favorite rock band. Half the people love them, half the people hate them. I'm going to miss Sundance, but I definitely think it's going to create opportunities for other festivals, no doubt about it.
What about economically here? Do you have an idea of how much revenue you bring in, how many people are coming to
that's a great question also. We have, I would say, probably a good 70% of the people we have coming, filmmakers, they're outside the area. They're coming, they're going to our restaurants, they're going to our hotels. So it adds up. It certainly adds up, and we want to see that continue to grow. Of course, we love creating something unique and entertaining for the people in our own backyard as well. But we want to bring everybody together.
And like you mentioned, this is a good introduction to Southern Utah for visitors, but also filmmakers. What could be the potential sort of trickle-down benefit of bringing people here for this event, and what could happen from there?
Well, those people tell their people, and they tell their people, and it's, it swells, it puts us on the map. I do get conflicted about it sometimes. Like, I don't know that John and I and our team have ever, we would like to see the festival grow, but we don't want to see it grow to the point that we lose this sort of, the spirit that makes us what we feel we are. We don't want to lose that intimacy. We want to be connected with all the filmmakers that are showing up. Sometimes at the bigger festivals, you don't even talk to the person in charge, And we love, that's why we did this, because we want to talk to these people. We love film. We want to do everything we can to help them, but we're also inspired by them.
And then I guess my final question would be, how do you work with the city to make this event happen? Is there any sort of help or assistance or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started a nonprofit. Well, let me backtrack here. I've been dabbling in film events here in Southern Utah for years. Like back in the day, like early 2000s, I just was, I don't want to say I was selfish about it, but I basically would put these events together. Like if I weren't throwing these events, what kind of thing would I like to see? So that's what I did. And it was like all out of pocket. And I would just do these things on my own. And through the years that kind of swelled. John and I became really good friends, and we started our nonprofit Film and Media Alliance of Southern Utah back in 2017. And as a nonprofit, yeah, we get a lot of help from the city. Of course, we would like to be self-sustaining and do everything on our own, but the city has been incredibly supportive. In fact, the second half of this festival coincides with the St. George Art Festival. And we love that because we're here to say that film's art too, and sometimes film gets left by the wayside. It's like the redheaded stepchild of the art scene. Not anymore. We want people to understand that film is art too, and we want to show people and share that with people.
I love that. That actually brings up one more thought too. The city's been so great. I remember when Sundance, it was announced that Sundance was leaving, the governor said in his statement that he wants to put energy and focus into other festivals in the state, especially locally run festivals. So have you seen any of that before, or what do you think that could potentially look like?
That's such a great question. I don't know, but let the governor know we're down here. we would love some help. I should mention, this is kind of off topic, we believe in synergy. We recognize that every film festival is going to compete with the next film festival. We don't really like to look at it that way. We're more about the synergy, and we're great friends with a lot of the festivals in the state, including ZIFF, Utah International Film Festival, up north, Kanab Film Festival, Doc Utah, the list goes on and on and on. And we all try to, I like to think we all try to support each other. So, but that's a great question. We do hope, we hope that with Sundance leaving, that's going to, that they're going to remember us and help us grow. Because that's what we want to do. We want to keep growing. We don't want to stop. We put too many years into it to stop.
Are there any particular films or events this week, in the next 4 days, that you're looking forward to?
Oh goodness, tons. I mean, we've got 10 features, which is the most for us. Again, we are a smaller regional festival. We're a 4-day. We don't have crossover. We're a single venue electric theater. So we try to not force our attendees to make a choice. So we play every film once, and if you're in it for the long haul, you're going to get to see everything. Feature-wise, our opening night feature is a film called Time Travel is Dangerous from the UK. If you're a fan of like Taika Waititi and Edgar Wright, filmmakers like that, you're gonna love it. It plays into every time travel trope you can shake a stick at. Super fun, great laughs. We're excited about that one. We have a film called DJ I Met, which is about a 15-year-old teen who, to sort of get through the rigors of his everyday life, he turns to electronic dance music. It's just a really charming, crowd-pleasing movie. We have a documentary from up north called Standout, the Ben Care story. which is about a gentleman with a cranial facial disorder who goes on to become a world champion wrestler. And the whole movie, it's a doc, but it's structured like a sports underdog movie, like Rocky. So if you're into that kind of stuff, it's great. It's also got a great subplot about the importance of family. Like I said, a little of everything. This is saying nothing of all the amazing shorts we're showing. So we just want to say, come on out and take a chance. Just because you've not heard of it doesn't mean it's not amazing.